All right. This is gonna seem strange. I mean, part of it's gonna make sense. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And it's not something I wanted to throw directly onto social media mostly because I don't want to deal with, I don't want to deal with the horde of wackadoos that might possibly head in my direction if I'm speaking this way. And breaking out, you know, torches and pitchforks and all kinds of tomfoolery. But I just finished watching this Glenn Beck video regarding a dream that he had where he was being ushered into the White House, into this room full of people. And you really need to look it up on YouTube, and that'll give you more background on it. Basically, finding out that the people in charge, that it wasn't about a political force, but it was more about a satanic, demonic force. And those of us who know, those of us who are in tune, those of us with any level of spiritual acumen already knew this. I guess maybe just a lot of people didn't know it to that level. And the end of the message was where basically wherever you find God, get back to that so that you can increase your intuitive abilities, your sense of when the spirit is talking to you. If the spirit tells you to stop and turn around and walk in the other direction, you need to get to the point where you just stop and turn around and walk in the other direction without trying to question it or make it make sense in your head, because there are things like one of my gunnery sergeants used to say, there are things going on here that you don't know about. And the thing is, if you tap into that intuitive ability, you gain access to that information, even though you might not know the particulars of it, but you will know that there are other choices to be made. And if you get, as one of my former pastors used to call it, an unction to function, you would do well to function in the direction of that unction. Yeah, he was talking a lot about how basically, and if you're paying attention, you realize that we're not talking so much now about the oversize of the government or the increased taxation. Now we're talking more about they're coming for your children. And Glenn Beck made a reference to a fashion company that uses a hashtag Moloch, and for those who know that Moloch is the god that requires to sacrifice his children, which makes so much sense when you think about all of what is going on, what they're being taught in schools, how much energy they're giving into the trans movement, and castrating children at early ages before they have any idea of what's going on. And they're children. They want to please the adults. So if they come to the adult and the adult is on board, then that's just, their childhood being thrown away as a sacrifice, basically. Anyway, I'm normally happier. I'm normally more upbeat. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Actually, the reason, that wasn't even the reason. I wasn't even going to talk about that. But the reason I brought this up in the first place, it's like while I'm watching this video or nearing the end of this video, I had this thought of, and they were making mention of uh, basically end times, and I was thinking to myself, man, how could they get the names of these people so right, so on point? And then it hit me, huh? Just like the Matrix, this is not the first time we're going through this. Like by the time Neo showed up, the Matrix had existed 6 different separate times. So what we are experiencing as humans right now could very easily, very possibly be something that was experienced by similar humans at a different time, several different times. And I it I just noticed it's like I've been paying attention more to archaeologists where they're like digging up ancient civilizations and finding civilizations that were actually more advanced than we are now. But somehow they just landed in the desert under a bunch of sand and people forgot about them until somebody came around and started digging them up. And so, yeah, very, very possible that if we're not living in Matrix, we are definitely, abso-smurfly, as the Smurfs would say, experiencing an experience that has been experienced by mankind on multiple occasions prior to us arriving on the planet. Marinate on that for a while. Probably shouldn't listen to this before you go to bed, even though I'm making it just before I go to bed, because I'm having a hard time sleeping. Because when I get inspiration like that, it's hard to sleep. And I don't take drugs anymore, even though I've got nighttime cold medicine. I don't take nighttime cold medicine if I'm not showing cold symptoms, because that will be leading more toward back in the day when I was an active duty alcoholic, and NyQuil was just part of my day. It was usually breakfast, but that's another story. Well, if we get close enough, we'll talk more about that at some other time. But until then, be well. I love you so much. I want all the best for you. I wish nothing but love, respect, and protection for your family and prosperity, physically, mentally, financially, spiritually, on all levels. Be well, be blessed. Keep my love in your heart. I have love in my heart for you, whomever you may be. Even if you consider yourself unlovable or unlovely, I still have love for you. Because back when I didn't think myself lovable or lovely, people had love for me. So, even though I say it's a duty that I would have to have love for you, it might have started out as that, but now it's more of a thing where I find that I am more comfortable in my own skin when I share love to other people, whether lovely or unlovely, whether they're acting pleasantly or acting unpleasantly. It's irrelevant. It's immaterial. It doesn't matter. My mission is to love, period. So, on that happy note, be well, and I'll speak unto you soon.